For the past few days, we've been eating really healthy. Not that it matters. And I've been up working since 6 a.m. Lucas since 7. And we were both thinking, something's missing. We just looked at each other and we said, panettone? Panettone. So we're gonna go to Christophe, I think. It's one of the best artisans, pastry chefs for panettone especially, which is an incredible cake around winter time around Europe that is delicious. So I wanted to take you guys with me, show you Paris around this time, enjoy a sweet treat together. Guys, it's freezing.
Vai.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Mickey.
Yes.
Everybody is.
Look at me now. Content creator. Je sais pas. Ah, we can get a tree here.
Pain et panettone frais au levain.
Which is
Freshly, they're like freshly. It's like sourdough essentially.
amazing.
Fabriqué sur place. All handmade.
Pour Noël, on va avoir le marron cassis vanille. D'accord.
Allez, Vicky, allez.
Love me a good artisan. E oui.
Sei felice?
Però preferisco un bel panettone.
Che bello.
Kick off the afternoon.
Alright guys, now we have the panettone. E andiamo a casa.
Andiamo a mangiarlo.
Andiamo a mangiarlo.
Che bella che sei. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Alright, you're about to sing.
È buonissimo.
Oh, my stomach is up. Oh. This coffee is the best thing ever. So guys, a panettone is what, Luki?
An Italian brioche with candied fruits.
There's no need to yell. We're all here together. Oh, it pulls off. It is unbelievable. There's of course
Super
sugar.
light.
It's fermented dough. And it's delicious. Guys, I had been speaking to you with my panettone and my phone died. So I'm gonna have to redo everything again. And basically what I want to tell you guys is that this video is so special to me because I never thought this day would come. Since I met Lucas, and it's been 4 years now, I was never really able to enjoy the holidays like I do now, sharing a dessert or even his food. trigger warning because I want to talk about my relationship with food, with PCOS and hypothyroidism, because I believe that I'm not alone when I say that most of us have had a very difficult time with our relationship towards food because weight gain is just such a difficult topic and a very common symptom with both. And when we disclose it, at least for me, when I would ask my doctors and I would ask them for help or to explain to me how I gained 30 pounds in 2 months, I would just be met with one thing, which was eat less, move more. And when I would go to other personal trainers, predominantly men, they would all tell me the same thing, which was I'm probably lazy and that I'm not doing enough cardio or I'm not tracking my food properly. We are not the typical healthy body. Our cortisol levels are usually very high. We're already in a state of inflammation. And the first thing when you ask or when you type online, what is the best exercise to lose weight? They will say high intensity interval training, which is absolutely true. And it is very beneficial for women, for all of us. But when you are in a chronic state of inflammation, when your symptoms are flaring, your thyroid levels are not optimal, and you're dealing with fatigue and insulin resistance and depression, anxiety, that's not the best course of action. And what happened to me was that I would sign up to the Soul Cycle class, to the new HIIT class, I would go to Barry's. I would only last like 3 to 4 days until I was completely burnt out. And I would compare myself. Please don't ever compare yourself, guys. But I would do it towards other girls in the classroom. And all that did, literally all of my life since I hit puberty, was I felt like I had a defective body. I felt like I was one of those unlucky ones that would always gain weight when they would see pizza, and that I had bad genetics and that was going to be my life. I mean, that's literally what my doctors would tell me as well. They would say, oh, okay, you're big boned. That's not a thing. So I was stuck in this over-exercising, under-eating, vicious cycle for as long as I can remember. I didn't know what a healthy gym routine would be. I was so desperate to find something that would work that I would search on Instagram and all of these blogs, get scammed left and right, buying so many meal plans, so many workout plans by girls who had perfect bodies. I would emulate every single video, every what I eat in a day that they would publish, just for them to come out 6 months later with a recovery video. And as much as I applaud them for that, I can't deny that for 6 months I was learning all of their behaviors, thinking that that was health, because that's what they were saying. And now I was left with a very damaged routine, view of my plate, and I was very disappointed. And then came Lucas. Being in the relationship when you have any of these issues is very difficult. I met Lucas when my PCOS really started to flare up, when my hypothyroidism really tanked. And the first thing you want to do when you're in a happy relationship is go out, share food, enjoy meals. It's totally normal. If you're in a happy relationship, it's so okay to gain weight. The best tasting things, let's be honest, they are full of sugar, and that would just throw my insulin resistance through the roof. My blood sugar was completely dysregulated. But since before I had such a damaged relationship with food, and that coupled with the fact that I had just gained weight, that was flaring all of my symptoms, it was a very dark time. And it's not about my looks, it's not that I looked bigger, it's always the mental health. Looking back at my pictures during this time, it's not that I look bad. I just go back into that moment and I remember how I used to hide my body, how I would try to get out of going on dates with Lucas because I'd be so afraid of going out to eat again and putting on more weight. And then this heavy restriction led me into a binge eating cycle for the first time in my life, and that was also very scary because I knew that my mental health had really taken a hit. But now I want to tell you guys how I have been able to lose all of the 30-pound weight gain that was not normal to me, how I'm able to not follow a diet, I don't restrict, I live a very balanced lifestyle, And I was able to eat one of my favorite desserts ever with Lucas, just on a random day without planning it. So I want to give you guys all of my tips now that I've told you all of the backstory. So what I did to really start to set off a transformation, the first thing was my mental health. And I know it might sound cheesy, but it is real. I would be very ashamed to go to the gym. I hated to look at my reflection. I didn't feel comfortable in my own body. So I wanted to stay home, and that would just add on to the problem. So I adopted this fuck it mentality, and I said, you know what, I'm human. My body does so much for me. And the day that I succeed, and the day when I have my children and I'm gonna be happy 20 years from now, I am going to be so angry at myself for hiding myself away when nobody cares. Nobody's looking. And the only person in this planet who actually cares is myself. So I worked on becoming friends with my body. And this process was very slow. I would stare in the mirror every morning and I would just compliment my body. And I would talk to her like she was my friend. And instead of thinking things like, oh my goodness, my thighs are so big, oh my god, my arms, like they don't fit in my shirts anymore, I would say, wow, they're so strong. My arms can lift things for me. I can cook with them. I have both of my arms. Like, I am so lucky. In the beginning, I would like cringe when I would say those things, but now it's a constant practice. And those little compliments, they help me get out the door. And leaving the house, well, I started to move more. I now started to go on walks, and walking, hot girl walks, they are so good for your health. And they're amazing for stabilizing your glucose levels. So again, my mental health walks were also very good for managing my symptoms. And once I had tackled my mental health, which it's not that easy, it's an ongoing thing, I had to find the root cause of a lot of my issues, go back into your childhood, etc. I took a medical leave from school, and I dedicated the past 2 years to trying to find the root cause of my PCOS and my thyroid issues. I came off all birth control, came off all medication, and with the help of my incredible pharmacist, naturopathic doctor, my endocrinologist, my general doctor, my internist, I started to take supplements, and I spent all of my savings trying to find the ones that actually were worth my money and made a difference and had scientific backing. So to control all of my cravings, I love myo-inositol, chromium, and berberine. I don't take all three because I feel like when you take all of them, your blood sugar goes very low and then you get dizzy and it's not the best. Also because berberine, there is some controversy of how long you should be taking it because it is an antimicrobial for the gut. It's not really intended to be a blood sugar supplement, a blood sugar stabilizer. I also looked into stabilizing my PCOS, improving my TSH levels, which led me to creating my hormone balancing drink, which addressed the root cause, helped me alleviate so many symptoms naturally, and it helped me come off thyroid medication, birth control, spironolactone, rounds of doxycycline for my acne, and I mean, she's everything. She's perfect. And when I take this drink, my blood sugar levels are much more balanced. My insulin resistance is controlled to the point where I don't even have to snack. I used to be a snacker. I don't have snacks anymore. I'm able to have balanced meals, which I'll get into it, but having something that helps you treat and attack the root cause of your issues, it's a no-brainer. Address the blood sugar balance, the insulin resistance, give you an increase of energy, help you with acne, hirsutism, etc. That's gonna set a cascade of improvements that is gonna make you feel better, you make better choices, and it's a cascade. You'll see everything is connected, which is why it's so sustainable. And now, when it comes to exercise and diet, I wanna preface this by saying that we're all very different, but I'm gonna be telling you what worked for me. Don't compare yourself. Do what works for you, what makes you feel good. Okay, and so in the beginning, I did not see the gym for 1 year. I would only walk outside because the gyms gave me anxiety. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to do high intensity. I didn't want to do weights. Again, I was working on my mental health, so I would listen to podcasts, but I only walked. And walking and doing low impact exercises, every now and then I would do like a home workout with some mat Pilates to work on strength training, building that lean muscle. But one of the reasons why I was able to lose the weight while doing this is because low impact exercises, they didn't make me hungry. So then I was having more balanced meals. By having more balanced meals, I was bettering my condition. And then I added in a low glycemic diet, but I added in step by step, not all at once. I didn't want to overwhelm myself. I wanted to just slowly over time make it a sustainable journey. I did this on purpose because I know that the slower you go, the more successful it's going to be. And so once I had my low impact exercise routine, my walking, and I was having balanced meals, high in protein with low glycemic carbs that help you be fuller for longer and promote blood sugar balance, I was feeling amazing. By this point, with my hormone balancing drink, I would say that's all you need. But that's very easy for somebody that didn't have an eating disorder or a negative body image, which is why the next thing I'm going to talk about is addressing food guilt and honoring your cravings and finding a way to go back to living a life and eating food without any restriction and truly just enjoying and being in the moment. So something that I would do is I would focus on the memories when I would eat any food that before would have been on my inflammatory food list, on the no list. I also followed some great influencers at the time, other incredible dietitians that would talk about how there's no such thing as good or bad foods. Instead, you should see them as favorable foods and not so favorable foods. And this really helped me with my approach. And seeing other girls who have had success stories was really inspiring. Seeing girls that would be vulnerable and would tell their truth. And they would give me so much comfort knowing that what I was doing was the right thing and it was okay. And that I was going to be fine. And then when I looked at the science, I was so relieved because there is so much misinformation out there. It is one of the biggest reasons why I was so sick for years. A lot of wellness influencers, they should not be... There's many that just say very controversial things. And if you ever come across somebody who's demonizing a food group or foods, just block them, unfollow them, and hope that one day they find truth and they are happier with themselves, because that's just no way to live. But now, if you have a sweet tooth, like I do, try to find recipes that are a healthy alternative. Don't restrict, adapt to it. Restriction is one of the biggest mistakes you can make if you want to make a sustainable lifestyle change. And now, if you're out and about or you just want a sweet treat, make an active plan out of it. We just got a panettone, I just ate it. Now I'm gonna go for a walk. And walking, it's not to burn it off, it's to promote blood sugar balance, because I know that not only is it gonna be incredible for my digestion, it is very important for my PCOS, for inflammation, for my mood. Blood sugar balance is really beneficial. But other than being active, it's very important that you listen to your cravings, because speaking from experience, if I wanted a cookie and I would tell myself, no, you can't have a cookie because it's bad for you, it's bad for PCOS, you're gonna gain weight, whatever, I would snack away around my cookie and I would say, okay, then I'm gonna have almonds. I'm still not satisfied because I want a cookie. Then I would have carrots and hummus, and then I would say, no, it's not enough, so then I would have another healthy snack. Next thing you know, I could have just simply eaten the cookie. I've eaten so many snacks around it. A few hours later, I'm having the whole box of cookies. And this just triggers binge eating behavior when you could have simply just had the fucking cookie. So have the cookie. And also, guys, we are not like men. We function in a 30-day cycle, not a 24-hour cycle. It is perfectly normal for your metabolism to change, and it should change. It should be higher towards your menstrual cycle. So there actually are physiological reasons to why you may be hungrier. And I know this might be the hardest thing to do. Our bodies do so much for us. We are so more complicated and more complex than we could ever imagine. Most of the studies have been done on men. I swear us women have been wildly underrepresented in all scientific research. I really feel like science has failed us. But now, as we come to an end, I just want to leave you guys with some thoughts that have guided me through my own journey. And remember that when we battle conditions like PCOS, thyroid disorders, or any other issues, autoimmune diseases, the battle is much more than our symptoms and our weight. It shapes our strength, our resilience, our mindset, the understanding of our bodies, and the appreciation for health in every single way. So, if you're watching this and you're overwhelmed, you're discouraged, know that you're not alone. You are stronger than you think, and there is a community that understands and supports you. My platform is our platform where we can all be here for each other. And I just want to thank you for listening to my video today, for following me, for trusting me, for taking your time out of your day to watch me speak. And I would love for you guys to comment down any tips or anything that has helped you in your journey, if you're needing any help, so we can all help each other. So thank you guys for joining me today. Take care and see you in the next video.